Hi there, this is Willie at the Trillium Real Estate Show. I'm here in San Bernardino at the tax collector's office. There's a tax sale coming up here pretty soon, actually in probably about 2 or 3 days or so is when it gets started. So, what it is we're here to pay up on some property taxes, delinquent taxes. It's one of those cases where you can actually pick up some fairly good deals when you buy properties through the tax sale. Um, you have to do your investigations, go out to the properties and so on like that, look at them, and put up your $5,000 deposit there, and then you go online when the sale starts, and then start picking out those properties that you have an interest in. But let me tell you now, you can actually pick up some properties really, really cheap if you're willing to put into a little bit of work into it. What you do is you go onto the San Bernardino County website. It doesn't matter. It can be San Bernardino County, it can be Los Angeles County, Orange County, any of those areas where you can go in and you start looking up properties. Start actually looking up properties, looking for properties that are 4 years behind on the property taxes, the delinquent properties. Now, finding these properties and buying these properties is kind of specific to California. If you're looking at this video and you live in another state or so on, you may want to check with that state about what it is that what you have to do and so on like that, because I know some states they have like a redemption time period. It can be anywhere from like 1 year to 3 years. But California is one of those. Once you buy the property at the tax sale, it's yours. That's it. So, okay, now getting back to it now. To pick up properties that are really, really cheap, what you do is you go to the county website, start searching the properties, look for the ones that are 4 years delinquent in property taxes. Then go out to the properties. Don't make the mistake with a lot of other people, but actually go out to the properties, set it on the property, and walk it. Know where it's at. Then go back, do your research, find out what properties are selling for in the area, because that way, you don't want to be one of these people that goes out there and buys a property and then finds out after the fact that you overpaid for it. Um, so once you know all of that and you highlight it or check it or whatever you do to make a note that it's a property that you're interested in, then you go out and you start sending a letter or however you want to try and contact the owners of that property. I usually send out a letter, especially most of the people that I target are out of state. For whatever reason, they must have bought the property years ago, or maybe they even inherited the property, but because they live out of state, they're never going to use it. Most of these properties, a lot of it's just raw land. They're going to need to be developed. A lot of these owners, they're elderly. They're up there in the years. They're never going to use it. So, um, so that's what I do. Is I usually just contact those people and say, hey, you're behind on your property taxes. Contact them. Let them know about it. You're there to help them find out if they're interested in selling. You can pick up those properties for as little as $100 and say, hey, you're a couple of $1,000s in behind in the property taxes. You're going to lose it. Are you ever going to use it? You're probably going to hear back, no, don't care about it. You know what? Let me give you $100 for it, or $500 for it. Take it off your hands. I'll take care of the delinquent property taxes, and we'll be done with it. That way you get some money. You don't have to worry about losing the property to a tax sale and so on like that. Blah, 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 whatever. So that's how you can go about it, and you can pick up properties really cheap that way. A lot of investors are kind of starting to do that now. It's kind of getting caught on, and so there may be a little bit of competition out there, but don't make the mistake like a lot of people have been doing, because I get people calling me say, hey, I'm thinking about selling my property that I bought at a tax sale, only to go out and find out, it's like a strip of land, like a bowling alley. You can't do anything with it, or it's in the middle of a wash or on the side of a cliff. So, and these are people that are buying at the tax sale. A lot of auctions now are selling properties. I saw one here not too long ago. They're selling some lots up in the Crestline and Lake Arrowhead area. Funny thing about that too, a friend of mine bought one of those properties at one of the auctions, and I go, you know what, did you check it out? Oh no, it was a good deal, this and that, blah blah blah. Well, you know what, I went up there, went to go look at it. Yeah, it's right off the highway, but the thing is, it's a downsloped property. There's these giant boulders on the side of it, this and that. So you couldn't even drive onto the property right off the highway, because you just can't get to it. You can't get to it from the street below because there's property, there's homes down there. So this guy bought this property, paid, I don't know how much, $2,500, $33,000 or something like that, and it's a useless parcel. So that's what I'm saying. Don't make that mistake. Go out there and look at the property. There's land that's out there in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, sure, you can pick it up really cheap. I mean, I know, like out in California City and something like that, people are paying $3,000-$5,000 for these parcels out there in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be 100 years or so if they even get developed at all. But you'll find out that there's people that can't even sell those properties for $1,000. Another area where you see a lot of properties popping up, Salton Sea area, Salton City area. There's a bunch of properties out there. There's people out there trying to get $2,000-$3,000 for a lot. I mean, it's not a very big lot. You can put a house on it and something like that, but you look and you go, there's nothing out here. It's one of those boom bust type deals. It was kind of like California City, it was marketed and all this kind of stuff. It was going to be the next big city and something like that. Well, in the case with the Salton City, well, if you know anything about the Salton Sea, everything collapsed on top of itself. Yeah, there's a handful of people that live out there, but there's a whole bunch of vacant land, and a lot of out-of-state or out-of-area owners, and they want to sell, but those properties are really not worth a lot, and a lot of them are going into tax default, and they're ending up in the tax sale for whatever the amount that's due on the taxes and so on like that. But if you go out there and you buy one of those properties for $1,500 or $2,500, thinking that, okay, yeah, this is going to make a nice investment, I'll turn around and sell it and so on. You're going to probably be kicking yourself in the behind after you go out there and check out your property you just bought, realizing that, the value is probably about like maybe $500, $700, but so that's what you need to do. That's one way to get some really good deals on land, especially land. There's people out there that have paid off their homes and something like that, but for whatever reason they can't make the property taxes. That's another source. You can pick up homes. You can act as a lender on those properties too. If you want to act like a private lender and something like that, because the homes are going to be paid off, but for whatever reason, job loss, illness, or whatever, they've fallen behind on the property taxes. So you can come in as a person that's willing to help them out and act as a lender, front the money as a loan. You're going to be first in line on that loan, so there's no worry about that, you know, if somebody else is going to come along. Because, you know, when there's a mortgage companies are always the first person, you know, in line, and then you got junior loans. Well, if the first loan gets defaulted on, and you're a second or a third or a fourth, and the first forecloses, well, guess what? You know, you're just SOL on trying to collect on your money. So this is also good, you know, when you start looking at homes where people, for whatever reason, have fallen behind on the property taxes. You come in as kind of like a lender. Well, basically you are a lender, but you're a private lender, and you put a lien on the property, just like, you know, you would as a bank would do, a mortgage company. And you bail the property out. That way it gives them a chance to save their home, keep living in it, and hopefully work out some reasonable amount of terms that you make some money back on it. So that's that way too. So there you go. You got a couple of different options to make some money. You know, investing in land, helping people bring current property taxes on their homes and so on like that, working as a lender. So, and then otherwise, you know, like I said, if you go out to the auctions, there's land auctions, there's regular auctions, you know, that you'll come across for properties for sale. They're always asking a couple of grand or more for those properties, but, you know, just like with the tax auctions and so on, also, you've got to go out and look at the property, set foot on it, know exactly where you are, and make sure you're standing on the right property. Make sure it's not way out in the middle of nowhere. The closest power pole is 10 miles away or something like that. You know, and do your due diligence. Make sure you know what properties are selling for out there. I mean, you don't want to spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on a 1 acre parcel, or even a 2.5 acre parcel, and find out you could buy that same property for $200 to $300 or even $500 an acre. So, you know, then you find out you've overpaid, and you're kicking yourself in the ass over it too. So, well, there you go. I'm getting ready to go in. I got like 3 properties. I'm gonna pay current the property taxes on it, and we'll be good to go. The owners, well, the owners actually deeded the property over to me, and they don't have to worry about losing the property to the tax sale. I'm bailing it out. I've got 3 properties now that I can put up for sale. I usually do it, especially with land, just do it as seller financing, make it like low monthly payments for however long. You know, I like to see whether it's a $100 check or $250 check every single month. You know, there's some good things with that. There's people out there that they'll pay on a property for like 3 years and then just stop paying. Well, guess what? You just take the property back and you got the property to resell again. So that's how it is. So there you go. I mean, that's my tip for the day, I guess, as far as when it comes with tax sales and you know, auctions and so on like that. Try to buy properties, contacting the owners before the property actually goes to the tax sale. Like I said, you can a lot of times get some really good deals if you you know, you go there and you talk to the owners and say, hey, I'm here to help you, I'm a problem solver, rather than lose the property to the tax sale and get nothing out of it. Offer them some cash, you know. But, you know, the other thing also is, you know, you definitely don't want to overpay on the property. I mean, if the property is something that's out in the middle of nowhere that's worth, you know, $1,500, but you don't want to pay, you know, that they're trying that the tax collector's trying to get $2,500 at the tax sale. So, but okay, that's it. I got to go in there and take care of business, and we'll see you next time. This is Willie at the Trillium Real Estate Show. Have a great day.